We back with another exciting episode of Mywatchlifestyle. Man, I'm telling you, I'm so excited. We here in Philadelphia, down in Society Hill at the world famous Ambrosia's Kitchen. I mean, world famous. This place is dope. They known for the best chefs, exciting parties, things like that. So we're gonna do a segment called Cooking with Watches. And we also got Chris Vail of Janis Trading Company. He makes dope watches. We're gonna have a great conversation. I can't wait. I'm hyped. So y'all see. We'll be back. Today I'm bringing you Cooking with Watches. That's right, Cooking with Watches. We in Philadelphia at Ambrosia's Kitchen, the world famous Ambrosia Kitchen. We got Bardre, he's a cool chef, but I also got micro brand sensation Chris Vail. He's gonna be helping me out. We're gonna cook something. We're gonna burn it up a little bit. So wish me luck. Stay tuned. We back. We in here. We in the kitchen. I got Chris Vail. I got Bardre gonna hook us up. Tell us something. Explain to us what you're gonna do today.
Okay, well, first of all, I'm Bardre. I'm the resident chef today here at Ambrosia Kitchen. Today we're going to do something very simple. We're going to do a burger lunch, kind of a gourmet burger, my signature burger. I have a signature spice rub that I make, so we're going to incorporate some of that. We got a salad with a very nice vinaigrette, and we got some shoestring fries. I got some potatoes that I cut up really small and thin that are going to be nice and crispy when we fry them up. So that's what we're doing. Something very basic, very simple, but we're going to do it the right way. Add some robust flavors.
That's what he said. Robust flavors. I could eat. You gonna do that?
I could eat.
All right, we're gonna do that. All right, come on, let's do it.
Okay. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to dress our salad so it can be ready to go when the burgers and the fries come off of the stove. So I have a salad dressing that I pre-made. It's just some white balsamic vinegar, some extra virgin olive oil, a little salt and pepper, and a little garlic powder. So that's already made, but if one of you guys want to give that a flick of the wrist and get it mixed up for us. Yeah, see, you playing around.
What I'm doing?
You gotta make contact with the
Here we go. This how it goes.
Yeah, you gotta get that mixed up because you gotta spread it. So I'm doing.
Gotta get some wrist into it.
I'm doing it, y'all.
All right, so what we want to do is we want to get this on here, a nice little thin coating. I think that's nice what we got right there. We can use this dressing for another salad some other time. Cool. That's the great thing about salad dressing. All right, we're just going to add a couple more things to our salad to give it some different textures and some different flavors. So I got some toasted pine nuts if you want to take the spoon.
I'll do this.
All right, just sprinkle a little bit of those in there. Yeah, I think that's good. We got some dried cherries here.
Dried cherries.
These?
Yeah, if you want to grab a couple of those and put those in there. Yeah, that's good. And we'll drop a little bit of the feta, we just want to sprinkle it. It's already crumbled up for us, real nice. So
you got to do it.
And just that's good right there. Yeah.
See, this is my
You got to keep it in the bowl, though.
Yeah, that's good. A little bit
Cook
goes
it
a
up just
long
a
way.
little bit. Bam,
A lot
bam.
goes a long way. An even longer way.
So what we moving on next? Let's do it.
All right, so the next thing we're going to move on to is we're going to start to prep our burgers. And what I want you to do with the burgers, I'm going to do one just to demonstrate, then you guys can do the rest of them. We want to get a nice little crust of this barbecue spice rub on the edges of the burger. So you just want to take your burger
see, that's
kind of spin that around in there and just get you a nice little crust on the edges of the burger of your barbecue spice rub.
Hook it up, Chris. You
All
go
right,
first.
okay, I'll go first. I watched the man with the technique.
I'm doing the technique.
We're going to roll it this way, though.
See, he's doing some of his watch design. See, that's going to be a new watch design. The technique.
There's something around the edges.
There's something around the edges.
Well, maybe I already got one. There we go.
Exclusive.
How was that?
Heard it.
How was that, Bardre?
That's good. That's perfect.
Exclusive.
All right, all you.
You heard him.
Come on, Ty.
All right, here we go. Boom. Hold up. Boom. Something around the edges. You heard it first. The man himself. Boom. Hold on. Let's look it up. Something around the edges. Hold up. Boom.
All right, so that's perfect. We got some nice barbecue spice rub, a nice little crust that's going to form as we cook.
Hold up, Dre. it's cooking with watches. You don't have a watch on.
I'm naked.
Oh, I got you covered.
All right.
We got a watchmaker here, so he going put something on him.
All right,
Chris.
so Bardre, this is my model, the Cerberus. This is one of
right.
my earlier designs, but I'm very proud of this one. You talked about the edges of the burger getting a little crispy. What I did was I actually put a little splash of color around the edge of this dial to pick up the orange numbers on the minute track that goes around. This dial has a corrugated texture in the center, a nice stainless steel ring, applied markers, really great lume. Obviously, the minute track with the orange numbers, and then we added the orange rehaut around the edges. And if you look at it from the side, you can pick up a little bit of the distortion of the crystal makes the whole dial look orange. So hopefully you like the watch as much as I'm sure I'm going to like your burgers.
So that's what we gonna do. You gonna cook in this watch.
Okay.
We gonna rate your food, and you gonna tell us how comfortable the watch was, durability, you know, and how you felt cooking in the watch. We're gonna go out here, have a little watch talk. Me and Chris, let you in here and do your thing. You know, we're gonna let you do your thing, and then, you know, let you spend some time with the watch and get
Okay.
comfortable with it. And then when it's done, man, we be out there, bring it on out, and we could trade about, you know, what's good and what's not.
Sounds
you know,
good.
so.
See you on the other side.
See you on
see
the
you
other side. Glad to have you here today.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, so you know, you're here today on My Watch Lifestyle. We're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You know, so how did you even get started into the watch business?
The short version is I was looking for a business to get into. I was kind of unhappy with how my career was going. I was actually looking at a completely different product, completely different industry. That started to kind of fall apart. I ended up losing my job, and then within like 2 days, my watch stopped. And I was never really that into watches before that. I thought I was, but I was like a lot of people that think they're into watches. I didn't know a whole lot about them. And I just started to think, it was like a light bulb going off over the top of my head. I said, you know, what's a good watch cost? What do they cost to make? Where are they made? Who's making them? You know, what's that business look like? I started doing research. The actual name of my company is Janis Trading Company.
Okay.
So Janis is actually short for Janissary, and it's a long story. I'm not going to tell you the whole history of it, but it's actually very interesting. The short version is back in the days in the Ottoman Empire, when the Turks would conquer an area, especially Christian areas, they would take the young Christian boys and they would basically make them like military slaves. They had a standing mercenary army called Janissaries. So I kind of took that name from my company, Janis Trading Company. And you know, it's kind of for me, like I said, I lost my job when I started this company. The name sort of symbolized rising up, you know, kind of coming back from adversity, being put down and then kind of coming back and fighting back. Lu and Huey, that brand name is actually a phonetic spin on a Chinese word, Luen Hue, which means reincarnation or rebirth. And again, I just kind of felt inspired by that idea of second chances in life. That it's been something that's recurred in my life where, you know, I've gotten the opportunity many times to kind of reinvent myself and come back stronger than I was before. NTH, I look at it two different ways. In algebra, the unknown is often represented by an N. It's the unknown number, and it's infinite possibilities until you actually solve and figure out what that number is. So for me, it kind of reminded me of the process of design, where you start off with this clean slate, and then eventually you start whittling it away and kind of narrowing in and refining the details to something that starts out very infinite and, you know, unlimited possibilities to something very finite and known. So it was like nth degree, trying to take things to the next level. But also when I started thinking about it, I wanted to make the brand more about sort of vintage inspiration. And so one of my friends, when he heard the name, and I told him it was about vintage designs, he said, what does that stand for? Nod to history? So we kind of look at it a couple ways, sort of as taking things to the next level, the nth level, but also kind of an eye on the past, nod to history. So that's where those brand names come from.
Where do you think the watch industry is going?
It's a good question. So I think to know where it's going, you have to be able to see where it's come from, where it's been, and look at things in the historical context. So you mentioned smartwatches to me. Smartwatches are interesting in that I think most people who are into watches don't really look at smartwatches as being watches. We look at them more as they're mobile technology devices. They're sort of an adjunct or an appendix to, you know, your phone in your pocket. I think people that are into watches don't want a smartwatch. People that are into watches want a watch. All the Swiss brands, for the most part, are positioned for that luxury branding, that luxury marketing, that luxury lifestyle. in terms of perception and marketing. That's why they've got Leonardo DiCaprio or Cameron Diaz doing their ads. That's why you see the Patek Philippe ads looking like, you know, people actually have a lot of money in those ads. There are affordable watches that can keep time just as well as anything that costs $2,000, $10,000. So I think where we're at is, you know, what we're seeing is a lot of the Swiss companies are being consolidated, bought up, but we're also seeing brands that are just going to die and go away. There are certain companies that are going to be okay. I think Rolex is going to be okay. You know, the big multi-brand conglomerates, they will survive, but I think the only way they're going to survive is by doing some real smart consolidation internally, some cost cutting internally. A lot of brands like mine, smaller brands, micro brands, boutique brands, coming in to fill that space. That's Christopher Ward, you know, how they started and what they're doing. That's Steinhardt, that's smaller companies like mine. And I think, you know, what I see is, say, $300 and down, that's the mass market. That's going to be owned by Seiko and Citizen and Invicta and, you know, those fashion watch companies. $1,000 and up, that's sort of the near luxury to luxury space. That's kind of going to be the domain of the Germans and the luxury Swiss brands. But in the middle, there's a lot of opportunity.
I see a lot of micro brands coming up, and you own a micro brand, so kind of like just tell the viewers what is micro brands and how you distinguish the two from the luxury brands.
Sure. So micro brands are typically, very often, they're one-man shows. Some of us have employees. Some of us are not really that small as companies go. But typically it's a smaller company, not as well known in the mass market or the mainstream. We don't make as many new models each year. We're typically producing in smaller volume. My typical production of a new model, 300 to 500 pieces, is very usual. The real key differentiator is with a micro brand, very often you're dealing one-on-one with the business owner. So when you buy a watch from my website, you know, I outsource my order fulfillment, so I'm not the one that's actually sticking the watch in the box. But if there's a problem with it when you get it and you email my company, all those emails come to me. All the responses my customers get come from me. So you're getting very personalized service. And typically, not all micro brands are affordable, but a lot of us are in that mid space where we're not charging thousands of dollars. We're charging $400, $500, $600, and you're getting a lot of bang for your buck.
Do any micro brands make their own movements?
Most micro brands typically are buying in movements that are, you know, ready-made from manufacturers. So typically what we're seeing is a lot of Japanese movements from Miyota, which is Citizen, or Seiko. We're also seeing some of the more entry-level Swiss movements from Etta, Solita, and now I just delivered a watch using an STP movement. STP is a Swiss company that's actually owned by Fossil, the large American company. Ronda, for years, has been making quartz movements. Many decades ago, they made automatic movements. They're now coming out with an automatic movement, and that's actually pretty exciting. But you do see some that are using the higher level, less entry level Ettas, you know, that Swatch Group, ETA. But you know, for the most part, it's very uncommon to find a micro brand like mine making their own movements because we just don't have the infrastructure.
As far as repairs, that's what a lot of people have questions. Something
Long-term
goes wrong.
repairability?
Yeah, something goes wrong. How do they get the watch repaired for micro brands? Because you don't have a large center, or you don't have.
Well, I mean, that's true, and it's a good question. We have a 2-year warranty. If you need to fix a movement, any watchmaker can fix a movement. If it's a part like a crown or a crystal, I can't speak for all micro brands, but I can speak for mine. We actually keep replacement parts. Every time I have a new model made, I'll get 1 to 5% of all those parts extra, and I'll just stockpile them in my office. So if a customer has a problem with a crown or a crystal or a bezel, we can actually replace those parts. Either they can send the watch back to us, or I can send them the part and they can have a local watchmaker do it.
In the next 5 to 10 years, what's coming down the line for Janis Trading Company?
Well, I mean, hopefully it will still be around in 10 years, and I still want to, you know, grow the business. So, you know, what I'd like to see happen is, you know, I would like to be able to offer to other micro brands the ability to tap into this machine that I've built. You know, we've got a good website for sales. We've got a good system for fulfilling customer orders. A lot of my peers are part-timers, and they're doing it all themselves, and they don't have the time to investigate how to outsource order fulfillment, order management, how to really beef up their sales. So I would like to be able to take what they're making and plug it into my system and be able to offer them that value and obviously make some money on those sales myself. I would like to get into more of the corporate market, do a little bit of private labeling. So if IBM wants to get 300 watches with their logo on them for, to reward their best sales executives, that's something I would like to get into. And then obviously maybe some new brands that I own and develop. I've got some ideas along those lines, maybe a ladies model. And then just, kind of continue growing the business, coming out with new designs every so often. But right now, I'm just kind of happy with the way things are going. 4 years in business, profitable since day one.
Nice.
We're on like our 10th, 11th, and 12th production cycle right now. I've got 3 models in development. And so, I got my plate full right now.
Where do we find you? How do we get in contact with you?
Well, my website is the best way, Janis Trading Company. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and we're on Twitter, but I don't do a whole lot with Twitter, but definitely Facebook. And I'm on the forums. I'm on Watch and Seek. I'm on a couple of other, smaller forums. The best way to reach me is just through the contact page on my website. And everything there is for sale. You can pre-order, but we also have some watches that are in stock, ready for delivery.
Okay. So we're here with Chris Vail. We're waiting for this food. As soon as it's done, we want to eat and have fun. It was great having a conversation with you and just talk and watch talk. We can do this forever. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Give us a second. Dre just finished the food that we started preparing. What is this, man? Tell us how this worked out, man.
All right, my signature barbecue spice crusted burgers here with some coleslaw and some Colby Jack cheese, some marbled cheese. We got a salad with some spring mix and some arugula that's been nicely coated in our nice simple balsamic and olive oil dressing, feta cheese, toasted pine nuts, and dried cherries and some shoestring fries. Real simple party lunch.
Listen, all that sounds good, but I think we need to.
We gotta try it.
We gotta sample this right here.
I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but I like to eat.
I'm hungry. Hold on, head up.
So this also has barbecue sauce and mayo on it.
Oh yeah, barbecue sauce and mayo on the bun.
How is it? Is it good?
Man, this thing.
It smells delicious.
This thing is. You gave me a heart attack, Chris.
You can taste that spice, bro.
Gave you the watch, straight from the man himself. What do you think about the functionality of the watch? How did you feel cooking in the watch?
I forgot I had it on, so it was so comfortable that it just kind of blended right in. I could move all the ways that I usually move.
Well, it's 100-meter water resistance, so it's probably not good for diving, but you can splash it, wash your hands with it, shower with it, and stainless steel bracelet. It's not going to get stained, so it's a good choice, I think, for a chef. Okay. And it's a thin case, kind of a smaller size, so it shouldn't be in the way.
Yeah.
So it worked perfect.
Yeah, we're right on time.
Listen, so we had a good day here at Ambrosia's on Mywatchlifestyle, cooking with watches. I got my boy Chris Vail, Janis Trading. I got my man Dre here. We whipped this up, this burger sensation. So stay tuned. We're gonna bring you lots of more cooking with watches, another location somewhere in the world. But right now, enough talking. We gotta get down to this
finish
food,
eating.
man. All right, y'all get out of here. We eating this food.